January 29th, 12:49 p.m., Trooper Proctor calls you for 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Correct.
And with Trooper Proctor on the 29th, when he was interviewing you in your dining room, that was the day that Brian Albert was also there.
Correct.
And was Brian Albert also interviewed on that day?
I believe so.
So Trooper Proctor was in your house for, gosh, it had to have been an hour.
I'm not sure. After I interviewed, I went upstairs, and then my children started waking up, and I was tied upstairs for a while. I'm not sure when or how long he was there.
But your memory is clear that not only did you meet Trooper Proctor on that day, you had a full conversation with him. It was in your house, that was in your dining room, and another witness was interviewed by Trooper Proctor in your home as well.
Correct.
And then you had multiple conversations with him in January on that day, the day after, and the day after that. You've already seen those records, correct?
Yes, correct.
That you did or did not recall texting with Jim McCabe during the course of that January 29th interview with state police. Do you recall that or no?
No.
Okay.
During the interview, I didn't text anybody.
Okay. Are you saying you didn't text anybody, or you don't recall?
I don't recall. I don't think I had I wouldn't be texting somebody if I was being interviewed by the state police.
Right. Okay. Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at a report of text messages?
Sure.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Just that. Well, for information, Mr. Brennan,
Okay. Jurors, feel free to stand up and stretch if you'd like. And I forgot to tell you, anytime we're at sidebar.
did you, in fact, call Mr. McCabe right after the interview and talk to him?
I don't know.
This is a, looks like a group chat with me and my sister, Nicole, 1:29:22. It's 1:29:22 at 7:54. Kerry talked to the cops and kept it simple. Kerry Roberts, 7:56. It's from my sister, Nicole.
To whom?
To me. Okay, try and get some sleep, talk tomorrow.
What's the time of this text?
7:57.
This is from you to Coco, to Nicole?
Yes.
What does that text say?
Any update? We'll get more info tomorrow. Don't want to text about it. We decided that we would talk on the phone. My children look on my phone. Her children look on her phone. We were working with the police. I was sharing information and everything that had happened. We didn't want it to leave our little circle because we were trying to figure out what happened, and we're not going to go running around letting people see, oh my gosh, they think this might have happened or that might have happened. It was nothing more than, let's not text about it. Right. 1:29 and 2022 at 8:01 p.m. Okay, text me in AM, or if you hear anything later.
January 30th at 9:51 a.m., you called Trooper Proctor. 4-second call, probably a voicemail or something.
Correct.
January 30th, a minute later, 9:52 a.m., you then called Trooper Proctor again, 21 minutes and 31 seconds for that call.
Correct.
January 30th, same day, 4:45 p.m., Trooper Proctor calls you for 9 minutes and 43 seconds.
Correct. Correct.
January 30th, same day, 4:45 p.m., Trooper Proctor calls you for 9 minutes and 43 seconds.
Correct.
January 31st, the next different trooper.
A different troop. Kerry was driving.
And so when you left the O'Keefe's house, where was it that you went?
Kerry went to drop her daughter off at her friend's house, the daughter of Mike Lank. On the way home, Kerry Roberts' daughter is good friends with Michael Lank. So we dropped her off at Michael Lank's house, and Mike's wife came out of the house. Him and Kerry are friends, and she, jumped in the car and was consoling Kerry and asks how the O'Keefes were doing, and, we talked to her.
So you pulled up to Michael Lank's house on the 30th. That's never been reported, has it?
I guess I never thought much of it.
Never thought about reporting the fact that one of the first responding officers on the case, working for Canton PD, which is conflicted off the case, you had a meeting with that was unreported the next day?
I didn't meet with Michael Lank.
I see. So you pulled up in the car. Tell me about that again. You pulled up in the car, and what happened?
And Lex, her daughter, went into the house.
Okay. And then you just drove away?
No, Michael's wife came out of the house.
Okay. And y'all had a conversation about what?
She got in the car and her and Kerry are friends, and she was checking on Kerry and, just saying, oh my God, this is so crazy, just checking in on the O'Keefes.
How long did that take?
Well, Kerry's a talker, so could have been an hour.
Could have been hours standing outside,
Sitting in the car.
sitting in the car on February 30th. Never came in the house?
Not February 30th.
I said February 30th, January 30th. Never went in the house?
I might have ran in to go to the bathroom.
It's the back end of a blizzard. It's freezing cold outside. Sitting in the car for an hour?
The car was running, Kerry, and they were talking. It's her friend. I was asked, oh, were you at Michael Lank's on the 30th?
So you've had a lot of time to come up with a story about why you were at Michael Lank's, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
I didn't need time to make up a story because I have the truth of why we went.
And the truth, according to you, is you pulled up at Michael Lank's house. The first responding officer and friends of the Alberts had a meeting with him the next day that was never reported to anybody for any purpose. You just met with his wife out in the car while the car was running for 45 minutes to an hour. That's your story.
It's not a story, it's the truth. Kerry dropped her daughter off. The wife came out. Kerry is a talker. They started talking. A tragedy had happened the day before. He said, did you go to Michael Lank's on January 30th? And at first I said, no, I've never been to his house. And then I thought about it and I said, oh my gosh, yes, I did go there. And that was the extent of the conversation.
You said, yeah, I did go there, and he didn't ask to follow up, like, what the heck were you doing at Michael Lank's house the day after this issue?
Objection.
This incident.
I'll allow it.
He didn't ask to follow up like that?
I do not believe he did.
The same report that has you at Michael Lank's house also has you picking up Nicole Albert going by 34 Fairview just before you went to Michael Lank's house. You aware of that?
We did not pick up Nicole Albert.
So you went by 34 Fairview, then diverted, and right after you went by 34 Fairview, went directly over to Michael Lank's house. What was the reason that you stopped by 34 Fairview first?
We didn't stop by. Maybe Kerry slowed down, but we did not stop by 34.
So you did a drive-by 34 Fairview for giggles? Why?
No, that's how we get to Michael Lank's house.
If the report shows that you actually stopped at 34 Fairview and then went to Michael Lank's house, would we have another oh my gosh moment?
Nope, no oh my gosh moment. We did not pick up Nicole Albert.
Did anybody else go with you over to Michael Lank's house?
No, it was Kerry, myself, and her daughter.
Your Honor, maybe approach.
It's from Brian Albert, and it's to myself, my sister Nicole, and Matt McCabe, my husband. This is February 1st at 12:50. Julie said Channel 4 is Zindini. Brian Albert is telling us that Julie told him Channel 4 is Zindini. This is from Matt McCabe to myself, my sister Nicole, and Brian. Eating, I assume. Ask Chris to ask some questions. Tell them the guy never went into the house.
To say, ask Chris to ask some questions, correct?
Yep, I'm reading it right now. Yes, that's correct.
And who is the Chris you were referring to?
That would be Chris Albert.
Tell them the guy never went in the house, correct?
Yeah, that's part of the same text. Yes.
Brian Albert was the one to respond, wasn't he?
Let me switch pages here. 51.
He responded, did he not?
Yes, he did.
And, well, when you said, tell them the guy never went in the house, Brian Albert was on that exchange still, was he not? He was still part of the group text?
Yes, Brian is on the exchange.
This text is from Brian to myself, to Nicole, and to Matt.
And in response to you saying, the guy never went in the house, Brian Albert's response was, exactly, correct?
Yes, that's his response.
Exactly. It means, oh my God. See, I do a lot of errors. So this is from my sister Nicole to myself, to Brian, and to Matt. It says, I assume it's just to eat, but Brian, if she is there, ask her what the deal is.
Do you recall watching what investigators were doing in the neighborhood on February 1st?
I do not.
Directing your attention to 1:34 p.m. and 27 seconds. You texted your wife, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert, quote, troopers back out front, but in front of Asian house.
I could have been. I don't recall if I was there. Troopers back out front, but in front of Asian House. Looks like more has been dug up there for at least, looks like it. Oh, sorry, I do recall. They dug out the snow. It looked like the snow banks. It looked like there was more snow dug out around around the scene. That would be Brian Albert. Yes,
And that was at 1:34 p.m. and 56 seconds?
yes. I had to pick up a car, so I drove through. Based off of reading these text messages, I was doing something, picking up a car or something, it says. I don't recall where, and I cut down Fairview. Trying to get pictures.
You don't recall monitoring what troopers were doing in the
I was not
neighborhood?
monitoring anything that the troopers were doing. If I had driven down the street, dropping someone off, picking somebody up, and saw the troopers, then I saw the troopers. I was not monitoring anything. I don't use glasses, but I can't see this. So maybe I need glasses. I'm making it out. I got it. Is it a light?
No, he says he doesn't
No, it's
wear-
not. It's just dark, but I got it. Go to the front. What the hell? How is that? The next door neighbors to the Alberts were Asian.
This says to ask if we heard if she is in a mental hospital.
Did you write a text to the group, including Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, and Matt McCabe, where you informed them that, quote, Carrie is here going over timeline, end quote?
Correct. This is from me to my sister Nicole, to Brian, and to Matt. 2:55. Carrie is here going over timeline.
So you reported back to Brian, Nicole, and Matt that Carrie was where?
She came over my house.
And you two sat down and went over a, quote, timeline together.
Peggy spoke to Carrie.
Or no? I didn't ask about Peggy.
Well, that's where the timeline started at.
Did you ask Carrie, or did Carrie show up at your house and, quote unquote, go over a timeline with you?
Carrie showed up asking to sit down with me to do a timeline so we would remember everything that had happened.
And you wanted to be super helpful about that, right?
Carrie called me and she told me that she had talked to Peggy, and Peggy had,
No, I'm going to allow it.
and Peggy had suggested to Carrie, you guys should write a timeline, you don't want to forget anything, when the time comes, meaning when the trial comes, you don't want to forget anything that happened.
And just to be clear, when you say Peggy, who are you referring to?
Mrs. O'Keefe. The two of us were trying to figure out what had happened to our friend.
And so you made sure that you created and drafted with Carrie Roberts a timeline for her, correct?
I didn't make sure of anything. She was the one that asked me to do it.
And not only did you create a timeline, you then reported back to your group, Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, Matt McCabe, that she was creating this timeline with you on February 1st, 2022. Isn't that right?
Yes.
After you created or drafted this timeline with Carrie, she actually sat for an interview with the police, did she not? That's not in the chats. I'm just asking. She sat down for an interview with the police, didn't she?
When?
You tell me. It's my question.
I'm not sure of when you're talking about.
Okay, let's start over.
Yes.
After this timeline was created on February 1st, at some point thereafter, Carrie Roberts conducted a formal interview with the police about this case, correct?
Do you have the report of that date?
We're sort of bearing the lead. She did the interview in your living room, ma'am. Right?
There was, on Tuesday, 2 officers came to the house, and she sat in the other room and spoke with them.
So, using my question, she did the interview at your house.
Oh,
correct?
they came to my house to interview me, and she happened to be there, so they asked if they could speak with her also.
Okay. Did she or did she not do an interview at your house?
Did, yes.
That wasn't that hard. You were present for that interview, weren't you?
I was eating dinner.
You were present for the interview, Ms. McCabe,
I was in the house, yes.
and you listened to that interview, didn't you?
No, I did not.
You made sure you gave Carrie Roberts everything she needed for that interview, correct? Quote, everything she might need for that interview, didn't you?
And where is this that you're quoting
I was
from?
asking you.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you quoted, I thought it was in here. I apologize.
We'll get to it in a second. But then you did report her progress to the Albert and McCabe group in that group chat, didn't you?
Can you show me where, please?
You wrote, and we handed Carrie, sorry, and handed phone to Carrie. You remember that?
From Brian to me to Nicole to Matt. I did hear that. This text is from me to my sister Nicole to Brian to Matt. And we handed the phone to Carrie, mine. February 1st, I believe it could have been Michael Proctor. This is from me to Nicole to Brian to Matt.
And the very next text is from you telling the group she's telling him everything in all caps, 2 exclamation points.
Yes. She is telling him everything.
Everything is in all caps with an exclamation point, correct?
Yes, it is. 255. I believe it was Michael Proctor. This is from me to Nicole to Brian to Matt. 255. All the stuff.
At 3:01 p.m. and 48 seconds on February 1st that you texted, quote, very weird that she's been barely interviewed. The whole dead comment was just told. I was supposed to have them talk last night and forgot to tell Proctor to call her. And then 3:03 p.m. and 15 seconds, it was Brian Albert who texted, quote, hope they don't think she's making it up after the fact for some reason, end quote, correct?
I heard a statement she said that horrified me.
And then you're reporting it back to the group, weren't you?
That one thing she stated, I reported back to the group, yes.
So what you're doing?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
I absolutely not. That is not how it went. I was horrified because Carrie's a blunt person, not like me. And she had made a comment about Miss Reed and Mr. O'Keefe's relationship. And I was shocked and horrified that she said it the way that she did.
You're so shocked and horrified that
I said, oh my God, she's telling them everything. Yes.
you decided it was so important that you needed to report that back to Brian Albert and his friends.
I was
his family.
horrified.
So you reported that back.
Yes, I said she told them everything. This is from Matt to myself, Nicole, and Brian. 4:35. Yep, if she pleads out, it will end. If she fights it, it will be an episode.
Who's she?
I'm assuming that would be Miss Reed. This is from Nicole to me, to Matt, and to Brian. She liked the text above.
The previous text?
Yes.
Meaning like a thumbs up or a like?
Yeah, it just says liked. So
The one that reads, yeah, if she pleads, it will end. If she fights, it will be an episode.
Yes. This is from Matt to me, to Nicole, and to Brian. Brian, sitting separate. Brian to me, Nicole, and Matt. That is 4:55.
And what does that text read?
Okay. This is me, Matt, me, Nicole, Matt, and Brian. I wrote you listening. That is 5:15.
15, Ms. Roberts was in your house being personally interviewed by Massachusetts State Police, correct?
They were there. I'm not sure if this is the exact time, but yes, they did come over. It's from me to Matt, Nicole, and Brian.
And what does it read?
Cops here again.
You were reporting to the others on this text stream that the police had arrived at your house. They were in your house with you and Carrie that you just described, correct?
Yes, I was just telling them that they were here again. Oh, sorry, Nicole, to myself, Brian, and Matt, and Nicole says, call us after.
At 5:15, you wrote the group, quote, you listening, correct?
Yes,
And at the same time, 5:15, you then wrote, cops here again, end quote, correct?
correct.
That was in reference to the police coming over to your house to further interview Carrie Roberts, wasn't it?
That was when they came to talk to me.
And you wrote, you listening to the group, correct?
Yes,
Who was that specifically directed to?
I honestly don't know.
Was there anybody else in the house during her interview other than you and the troopers?
My husband, Matt, my daughter, her friend, my other daughter.
The only person that would have been in the house that could have conceivably, quote unquote, listened would be Matt. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next. And a few minutes later at 5:23, Nicole Albert texts, call us after. Correct?
Correct.
And a few minutes after that, Matt McCabe texts, quote, this girl could write a book, ... nonstop. Correct?
Correct.
So obviously Matt McCabe, along with you, was listening to Carrie Roberts give her interview.
We were sitting in the kitchen eating dinner with our children, and Carrie Roberts was in a different room, but she was going on and on and on,
How do you
as
know?
she does,
How do you know?
because they were in the other room.
And you could listen
I could hear voices.
to Matt McCabe. I love it.
Yes,
And then you responded about this interview you just testified under oath and under penalty of perjury, not hearing anything about, just hearing voices. Your next text was, quote, she is telling them everything,
yes,
end quote. Correct?
yes.
So what you said just a few minutes ago about not knowing what she was saying, I could just hear voices, that was a lie.
It was.
Okay.
Objection.
Sustained.
One word, what was her response?
Good. We had both lost our friend. Carrie Roberts was in shock, as was I in shock. The two of us had all this information that just kept coming back to us and back to us. And it's terrifying when you go through an experience and you're in shock. And Carrie was remembering things. I was remembering things. So I was happy for her that she was piecing it all together, and I had pieced it all together because at the end of the day, our friend was dead, and we were trying to figure out what had happened to him together. There was no direction. We were all trying to figure out what had happened because that's what you do when you lose somebody you love.
And Carrie Roberts was there.
Was
correct?
at my house, correct?
And a few minutes later, at 5:23, Nicole Albert texts, "Call us after." Correct?
Correct.
You were asked by Trooper Prince in her formal interview. Trooper Prince interviewed you on February 1st, about 3 days after the incident. Correct?
I met with a lot. I don't really remember specific days.
Do you remember a female trooper?
Yes, I do, actually.
Okay. In your house?
Yes.
Or I should say at your house?
Yes. So basically, Carrie is a talker, and once she started,
The text just before that was, "I love it."
that was in response to my husband saying this girl could write a book.
What's the next thing that you wrote to that group within a second of that?
She is telling them everything.
Right.